On that note, y'all might as well go. Now that you brought this topic up, Jackson,
Right.
just go. I don't want to hear this right now.
Let me condense my feel. Wait, let me start right. Let me condense. We both got the hands. You know the heat is coming. let me just put this out here, okay? And I'm sorry for all the people who are used to this language out here, but fuck this nigga Sanji. I'm so sick of him. Look, I get it. Okay, you can't beat the women, all right? But then we got even found out that he can't use his armament Haki because it might hurt her.
Yeah, you fucking shitting me?
So
Are you fucking shitting me, bro?
He can't even not take his ass whooping. And then, worst of all, if even you don't want to hit women, you don't want to harm them or anything, you gotta be strong enough to escape. But he gets caught.
Yeah, like you really can't do that shit. Like you can't leave. You can tell me you can't leave. And everything you can do, you can't even run away. Are you fucking shitting me? He couldn't just do a little Diablo Jammer real quick and fucking melt the fucking webs off or something. I've seen him do that kind of bullshit before.
Like Brooke can freeze the webs and get out of there. Robin can stealth her way through the webs and sneak up on all of them. But you're telling me Sanji, supposed to be third strongest, out here competing with Zoro and Luffy, can't do nothing about this? I'm just sick of him. I know, this is his character, and Oda's been building this, and he wants to show, Sanji wants to depend on his teammates. But at the same time, fuck him. I can't take it anymore.
I'm glad that you finally joined my side. You are 2/3 of the smartest niggas in this chat, so I appreciate you stepping over to the winner's circle.
Yo, so he's not Friday.
Yeah, I mean, I like the duality of Sanji and Zoro's ideology, right? Because Sanji was raised in a way that's just don't treat women this way, but Zoro was over here constantly humbled by somebody who was a better swordsman to him. So for him, it's just no, if they're real, they can catch these katanas. I don't really care. That's how the world works. Women can be just as real as men. It's whatever. Sanji just doesn't have that shit, and it's just kind of an an interesting paradigm to their relationship because they're always arguing, and shit in general, and they're just different perspectives that they have ingrained to them. So it's I do like the aspect of it in the story to a degree, but again, why are you over here taking these hits and then fucking up your ability to go do other shit that's useful? You know what I mean? You really think you're gonna be able to take King on getting all bloodied up and shit? Sanji's durability is high, but it's not the highest in the series. Luffy punched this man in the face once at Whole Cake, and my man was gasping for air, could barely get up. But he didn't even use Haki. He just fucking snuffed this dude. You know what I mean? I don't think you could really afford to be over here just taking out these hits for your fucking chivalry, bro. You got bigger fish to fry.
So you done?
All right, Samir.
That's it? That's all y'all got?
I'm done.
Wow, we were so much angry on Friday. There were some nuanced takes in there that I agreed with. I really was going to come in with fire, but I still will. I think y'all are really sleeping on Oda at this point, if that's the way what you're taking from this. I was going to say you're sleeping on Sanji, but no, you sleep on Oda. I need all y'all, even on the internet, to know you're sleeping on my man Oda. Look, Ryan said this. He was raised to not hit women. And Oda himself said, it's not that he won't, it's that he physically cannot. Oda specifically said that. And on top of all the men in his childhood were garbage and all the women were nicer to him, that's probably a lot of it too.
It's true, yeah.
So, he's not going to do it. Never. Not a single time. And while we might get tired of him doing that, it was actually a really nice callback to Enies Lobby. Because when he was fighting Khalifa, he got knocked out, thrown on the ground, and Nami was like, yo, I respect your chivalry, but you should run instead of taking this L. Running away should not be a part of this. And yeah, you would want him to run away in this situation or try and get away, but she would have to fight her no matter what. He can't just run past her and just go. And the fact that he said, even if I block with my Haki, I will hurt you by blocking. That's crazy, bro. Dude. And even Jack said this himself. He was like, the samurai are strong. None of the flying six can take any of them. So it seems to be that Sanji is clearly way stronger than Black Maria. Easily. So it's a good callback that he's like, yo, Robin, save me. and I trust you that you will not get hurt. And that's why she was like, oh, I really appreciate this. I'm not a prized possession. I could fuck up niggas too. Thank you for trusting me. I believe
She
in you.
can.
Yeah.
And I also like this because I said in one of the last prediction videos, I was like, oh, like, Big Mom's over here trying to get Robin too. Like, why don't they just have fucking Brule just watching the mirrors and take her? But I was like, honestly, you can't even do that because Robin is mad crafty. Like, he can fucking bloom like her powers have kind of developed rather oddly throughout the story. Like, now she can teleport into rooms as opposed to just making a clone type shit. Like, she is not an easy person to hold down, bro.
I just also think that I wanted to add one more point. Niggas that like Zoro really hate Sanji, and like you said, that duality, Ryan. But like not everyone could be Zoro. It's just not what it is. Like if everyone was written by Zoro, this story would not be good. Like
not everybody
Sanji
can be
honestly gets the most character development. He has the most character development. Sanji next to Luffy. It's Luffy, then Sanji, maybe Law, and then Robin, and then maybe Nami after that. But Sanji has gotten the most attention by anyone aside from Luffy in this series. And that's not to be disputed, honestly.
That is
Alright, so
I actually want more out of Zoro. We haven't seen a lot of Zoro in this time skip, honestly.
Well,
those are all interesting points you made. You know, I'll admit, like, right after I read the chapter, I was super heated. You know, I was so sick of Sanji, but like over time, I got to think about it. You know, so there were some nice callbacks. Like, you know, you remember in Indy's lobby when Robin was like, "I want to live." You know, she had her declaration or whatever. It's like kind of a callback that like now instead of being saved, like trusting in her friends and being saved, you know, now Sanji learned to accept that he can like rely on them. Like it also goes back when he was talking to Usopp. When I forget which arc this was, but he was basically like, "Look, there's some things you can't do. You know, some people can't do some things, and that's why you have to have friends who are there to support you to do the things you can't do.
That was
like you
also
do things I can't do."
That was a nice call.
That was also in his lobby, which is crazy.
So I'm not as mad that he called for help. And I think it's thematically cool. Like now that I'm thinking about older chapters, like yes, Oda's a good author. I'll give him that. He's a good mangaka. Okay, it just doesn't. You know, it still just hurts me though.
Still
that,
irritating.
Like, his flaws.
You know?
I can't get over it. Like, and you know what? I'm not being unfair because everyone else's flaws still irritate me too, and I just give them a break when they pull off something despite that. And you know, it's been a minute since Sanji pulled something off. That's all. Like you know, so he could take this L. You know, he can. But if he goes up to this level and he whoops Jack's ass, I don't care anymore. I won't even mention him getting caught.
I agree. It's just that I'm rooting for this nigga, and I'm tired of having to sit here and wait for this shit. Like, just do something cool. Do something dope.
It has been pretty long. This is like multiple chapters where he's been trapped there.
To be fair, he did run through some of these niggas in Whole Cake, bro. Like, Oven, he just fucking, like, broke this nigga's neck nearly, and Oven didn't even see.
He destroyed page 1, bro. He crushed page 1. And
he did. X Drake didn't really hang either, bro, honestly. X Drake was kind of like, woof.
Yo, man. And I don't even know why people are like, yo, Jack sucks. Yo, he can't beat Jack. I was like, Jack's got a billion berry bounties. And those samurai are really strong. Like, they've been training for 20 years.
I don't know. For me, the only other cool scene, I guess, like that really stood out to me is when Robin comes in and smacks the shit out of Black Maria. And then, you know, I just Brooks, one of my favorite characters, so him coming in all smooth and, like, calling those women monsters.
Smooth, bro. He is smooth. Yeah. Like him and Frankie rolling up to Big Mom the other day and in the car just being like, "Oh, what's up? Long time no see." And Big Mom was like, "Y'all niggas started to piss me off." And Brick's just like, "Oh, you mad I stole that poneglyph? Come get it." And Frankie said, "Let's run it." Like I love this fucking
and Frankie ran her over, bro.
I love this fucking relationship building we're seeing because like earlier on in the story, like you would see these interactions and kind of wonder like, oh, how does like Crocodile know Whitebeard? Blah blah blah. Like you didn't actually get it fleshed out. Now we're seeing like these relationships fleshed out and stuff like how they get to meet each other multiple times, and it's not just like the villain gets fucking pieced out Team Rocket style and they never see him again. Cool shit.
I didn't include this in my rant, but like one of the kids pirates called this man pathetic. And I'm so mad about that. Like, how dare you? How dare you?
I agree.
You're like the third strongest nigga. His name is like Heat or something. Like,
I noticed that. And what's funny is like
they don't know.
Every time I read the chapter, I was agreeing with him. I was like, yeah, this dude's pathetic. You know, he out here screaming for help. But then the second time I read it, I was like, you know what? I can calm down. And also, who are What?
Who are you? How dare you?
Like,
I will say though, one of my favorite parts of this whole chapter is that just like, oh, you know, we talk about how like certain characters are built for other shit, right? Like, you know, Usopp can't be over here scrapping with these niggas, which is fine, be a sniper, or whatever. Like Chopper isn't a fighter. But catch Chopper in the wrong mood, this nigga will fuck you up. You know what I'm saying? And Robin is honestly the same way. Like Robin beefed up real good after the fucking time skip, bro. Like she took a page out of Luffy's book. She was like, "Let me bloom some giant hands and let me stomp on these niggas." So she rolled into this. She rolled into this fucking room, and she was just like, "First of all, you know who I am? I've been on the road since I was 8 years old, son. You think I'm scared of your fancy little organization? I'm here to fuck you up." I was like, ooh, I believe her right now. She might do something crazy. I'm about to see some new moves.
I was wondering this, and I want to know if you guys can answer this question. Do we know if Robin has Haki? No, right? I don't think so.
I think she's mad perceptive, so I think she could have observation Haki. I don't think she has armament.
I don't think so either, and I think that's how they're separating a lot of like the Flying Six from everyone else. Because I thought they were much stronger than they thought. And Jack was literally like, "Nope, all the samurai can handle them easily." And I was like, "I guess so." And I guess they've had 20 years of training because like the people who didn't jump back in time are so strong, and the people who did are already really strong, anyways. But I guess I can't. It's impossible for me to scale their power, but I guess the combination of Brook and Robin should be enough. I think.
So, if you're just really, really strong, it doesn't matter. Same thing with that dude from Dressrosa when they did the fucking tournament. Dude that put his brother on, like he zipped up his brother.
Oh, Kelly Funk,
yeah, he had the crazy fucking like hard skin.
Jackie Jacket Fruit.
He broke his axe and he was like, but I was using Haki. And he was just like, what's going on with this nigga? Like, some people just got it, you know? Nothing you can do about it.
Yeah,
yeah, there's that Diamond Man who you can't cut. Like, you know, sometimes.
He was totally going to come back because Zoro's going to prove that he's better by cutting that nigga, but that's a side note.
Why would he fight Josie? It doesn't make any sense.
Bro, there's no way in hell you put that nigga in the story for him to not get slashed by somebody. I highly doubt that he's not getting slashed. There's no fucking way, bro.
You think anyone made of material is alive for Zoro to cut?
Yes, bro. There was already foreshadow. Like after he beat Mr. One, he was laughing and he was like, "Why you really cut through steel? You're gonna cut diamond next?" Zoro was like, "Nigga, we see. We gonna find out."
There's
and then,
no way
lo and behold, who comes through the story like 200 chapters later? Diamond fucking Jozu.
How's that? Gonna get cut. Yo, but Marco's fighting with them. That would make no sense for that to happen. That would be nonsense.
What's gonna happen is Marco's probably gonna be like at the end of this could be like Zoro-san, trying to get strong. I know a nigga that could probably help you train, and Zoro's gonna be like interesting. It's gonna be like that kind of hookup. Because all these guys just like to fuck around and fight. Like Josie's just gonna be like, oh, another swordsman wants to see if he can slash my body. Bet, let me see if this nigga can do it. You know, it's possible.
I'll give you all the credit in the world if that happens, right? I will make sure I will clip this and come back to it one day about this nigga was.
But I just, you know, speaking of titties though, Momonosuke. I'm sorry, I was reading the chapter and I started getting. I had to talk. Bro, this dude is so. Why did nothing like this ever happen to me when I was a kid? Is what I want to know. This man taking baths with like, you know, fine ass 25-year-old women, like getting like fucking stuffed into Yamato's shirt, like
her
kimono.
Were you a pervert at 8? Were you a pervert at 8, my nigga?
Bro,
I was not.
Literally, this is how Odin lived his life. That's why he was over here making harems at like 17 and shit. Nigga had a whole harem war when he was still a teenager, bro.
Would you know what to do with titties at 8 other than suck on them?
It didn't matter if I knew. I knew I liked it. That's all I needed to know. I knew if there were some titties, I wanted to be there. That's what I knew. But, you know, it didn't matter.
I wanted to be there. That's facts. That's facts.
Nah, this could be a side story. You could clip this out. But, you know, this could be the story of the tit man. But like literally from like when I was the youngest, my mom and my family used to make fun of me. They knew I was going to be a tit man from birth. Because apparently, like literally, whenever my mom would give me to any woman, I would just like reach up and like grab, and apparently I did that like when I was like 3 or 4 years old. And I remember, and when I was in preschool, I had this one teacher, and she was my favorite. Like she was my absolute favorite teacher. And you know, looking back, I couldn't remember why I liked her so much because she wasn't any nicer than the other teachers. And I brought this up to my mom one time, And she was like, yeah, because she had huge tits. Like, what are you talking about? Of course you loved her. Like, what?
You don't know we called her Mr. Tickle Bitties.
Please let
And I
me
was
keep this in.
like, you know what? She really did have badass titties. Like, that was. If you want to put that story on the side too, please go for it. But like, yeah, no, that was.
Oh my god, that was amazing.
At the
You
same
had the
time,
natural
though,
born instincts, bro. It's like Conqueror's Haki, bro. He's born with it, bro. I just want to say though, just to get back to the chapter, I'm really glad there was so much more focus on Robin looking menacing, bro. I wanted Miss All Sunday
that's what I'm
back.
saying.
Miss All Sunday is one of the
Exactly.
coldest people in the entire series. Like and they did nerf her, but she was clearly not as like cold blooded as we thought. And that's my favorite version of her. I was thinking once I had a dream that One Piece had like a Western type place, and I was like, yo, that'd be hard. Bring the cowboy hat back on Miss All Sunday. Return of Miss All Sunday. That's the way I see it. But I'm trying to think. What are y'all predictions for this next shit?
Well, most obvious prediction is that maybe not next chapter. Well, actually, no. Definitely next chapter. Jack is gonna run into Sanji. I don't know if they're gonna start their fight, but they're both gonna like either. I don't know how it's gonna go down. Maybe one of them will show up and like start doing something, and then the other one surprises them, or they both show up at the same time and they start a fight. I'm not entirely sure, but I feel like they definitely meet. Like he set up the pieces to like converge on each other pretty well this chapter.
I'm gonna go. I think we're going back to the roof. You feel me? Because the way I see it, this chapter showed basically everybody, even the last chapter. These last two chapters showed what everybody's doing to this point, and we know Oda's devil fruit power is the off-screen no me. Like we're gonna come back to them later, like because I feel like the more One Piece has gone on, the more we're getting more off screens. Because he's like, yo, I'll let the anime fill this in. I'm just gonna move on to the next thing. And I guess the way I see it, we've seen everybody, literally almost. I think, did we see Usopp? Actually, no, we did see Usopp and Nami in them, right? Yeah, so we saw everybody. I don't think we missed anyone I can think of. So it seems like we got a big enough update that we could go back, I think.
No, because we still need to see Orochi try to attack Momo in Yamato, because I think that nigga's gonna come back on the Hydra theory. I'm a full believer in that.
That's a pretty good idea.
I think that needs to at least be set up before we go back to the roof. But so the thing is that like Queen's kind of like a brawler Usopp. Like he's pretty strong, but he doesn't really like to get into situations where he thinks he can get fucked up. And he also has those mad funny faces. Like when Zoro slashed his gun in half, he was like, "Ah!" Eyes popped out of his head and shit like that. Like it's very possible that he just low key like slipped away from this fight. Like there could be a funny scene where Marco and King are fighting, and Marco's just being like, "Wow, bro, this is the best of the Beast Pirates." Nigga ran away. And King's gonna be like, "What you talking about?" He's gonna look to his right, and Queen's just like running, like he's just hiding somewhere.
That's actually a really good prediction too. Yeah.
I know we talked about the horn falling on Usopp, but I actually think it'd be really funny if the horn Zoro chopped off was gonna fall on Queen, and then it like forced him into some other fight that he wasn't in the mood to deal with.
But who else?
You know what? X Drake is still there somewhere, and I don't think X Drake is capable of taking out Queen, but we could get a good Dino fight. I want to see some
X Drake's fighting right now, yo. He's fighting a Pooh. He's crazy.
Is he still fighting a Pooh?
That's what I saw in the chapter, I think. Yeah. I saw everybody. You didn't notice because there was just a random looking dinosaur without a scar, but it was Drake. But yeah, because I'm trying to think. I'm like, who else could really fight Queen that's not already taking up at this point? Unless, honestly, I could see Jinbei watching Who's Who. Yeah, I think Jinbei's gonna watch Who's Who, because if Sanji's Haki by blocking would hurt Black Maria, Jinbei should be able to fuck up anyone in that group. Like, all of them. Because I can readily admit that Jinbei is definitely stronger than Sanji. I would like to believe so. So I'd like to believe that he handles his business.
With or without the raid suit?
Without the raid suit.
Without the raid suit, for sure. But with is still possible. Jinbei is still really strong.
With the raid suit, I think I give Sanji a slight edge.
Only because he's invisible. But, like, the other stuff that's added, I don't know. Jinbei's still really strong, man. But
the thing is Sanji over Jinbei, slightly with the raid suit. Very slightly.
I'm trying to think. If Jinbei was as strong as before, and he fought Ace for 10 days, I don't know where to put Sanji either, actually. It's actually a really tough choice. Actually, the more I think
I
about
think
it.
it's fair to say that if his like brothers and sisters get that much stronger from the raid suit, base Sanji was already pretty strong. Maybe not top tier, but with the raid suit, like he at least goes up to the next tier, I believe, of wherever he was. Like he's able to fight people who are clearly stronger than him in base form with that raid suit.
It's either we continue what we're doing and we see more of Robin in them, or we're just going right back to the fight. That's my opinion, I think. Like I always say, bro, Oda makes us look like fools, bro. Every time.
Yeah. No, he said this in interviews. Like he literally, whatever he thinks we think is gonna happen, he doesn't want to do. Like apparently he's changed the course of the story multiple times just because he saw somebody on the internet guess what he was gonna do, and he was like, "Nah, son, like nobody's guessing how One Piece is ended. Are you
Sounds
kidding
like a
me?"
master criminal.
Does anybody think that CP0 is gonna low key find the poneglyph or some shit like that and try to do some fuckery with it?
What would they do?
I want them to have some kind of role in this fucking arc right now, and it's like they're just kind of passively watching, but it's like, how did they roll up to Wano? Like, what was their plan? Is it going to be like a Bartholomew Kuma situation when everyone's knocked out and they try to arrest somebody, or do they have some kind of agenda? Because I don't really know what the fuck they're doing right now.
I just think they're just watching. They want to know what's going on in the world. Even in Dressrosa, they were just there. They didn't do anything, but they were like, "Oh my god, CP0's here." I think they're when they are here, bad news, bad things happen. But it's more I think they know it's gonna happen. It's yo, let's just keep an eye on this and make sure we know for the sake of the Tenryubito or the Celestial Dragons know what's good.
Do we know if the poneglyphs can be destroyed? Has that been a plot point? Am I forgetting something?
I don't remember them ever being destructible. I don't remember. I guess anyone even attempted that?
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't have any inkling in my head. But what if they blow it up? That's an out there option. What if they're
that'd be kind of interesting.
These pirates are real, and rather than just going the strategy we've been going, because clearly it's not been working. Pirates are getting worse. How about we just blow up the royal poneglyph? Nobody can find Laugh-Tale, and then we're good to go.
That's Oda's ending, huh? You said 5 more years, nah, fuck it, we done. That's it.
And if Queen did disappear, maybe he's going to protect the poneglyph because there's mad chaos and shit, and I don't know,
I think Yamato might run into Queen and look for that poneglyph. They're the only people I don't know where they're going. I think that's the most likely thing. They'll run because they're in the storage room, the secret storage room. Somewhere that poneglyph has to be somewhere around there. It's impossible. I can't think of where else it would be.
Law was over here searching for it too. Maybe Law has an idea of where it is, or maybe Law already did a quick little shambles thing and fucking took. I don't know, man.
There's no way he took an entire poneglyph, dude. That rock is massive.
That shit is somewhere, and somebody has to do something with it. And someone in Kaido's crew needs to be fucking worried about protecting it. There's no way that him, Jack, and King were all just sitting here oh, okay, Big Mom and us are in an alliance. Everything's Gucci now. I feel one of them has to be at least a little skeptical, right? At least a little bit.
They might just be mad arrogant. What does it matter if they try and steal it? We got us here. We're real. There's no way they're going to...
which is pretty fair.
Same with Big Mom. She was there's no way y'all took my poneglyphs. I'm real. There's no way. Here we are. I'm trying to think of what... I don't even really know what Yamato is for the story at this point other than someone who follows Odin. I just don't know. Other than, obviously, she has the notebook of Odin's notebook. So, I feel she's going to come across the poneglyph.
I think she's definitely... I think she's an ex-crew member is what I think. I think she's an ex-crew member, and I think if she does run into Queen, I bet she fights Queen and wins.
For sure.
Just because, we don't know how strong she is, but we know she's strong enough to at least hold off Ace. And she's Kaido's daughter.
And she clashed with Luffy pretty well.
She has Kaido's moves.
It was he was third gearing her and shit, and she was shaking, holding them back. They were kind of evenly matched with Luffy in his base form.
And she still has Kaido's moves. She got the club. She could get the thunder on him. There's no way she can't be as strong.
She hasn't shown any techniques. The only thing we know she can't do is Rio. And that might just because Kaido didn't teach to her on purpose, so she couldn't escape. The only thing that keeps me from thinking maybe she can take Queen and she's strong enough to do that is when those other like flying six showed up when she was like trying to stand off against them, none of them seemed like afraid. They were all like, "All right, stop being a bitch or whatever. Come over here and listen to your dad."
That's a good point.
And she was like, "Nah, I'm gonna fuck you up." And they were like, "All right." Like not like, "Oh, you know, we don't believe you," but like, "Okay, you know, try to fight all of us at the same time."
Mhm.
So maybe she is strong. Maybe she's not strong enough to take like 6 of them at one time. But like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's difficult to really tell where she is. Like, we were just saying, maybe she fights Queen. I'm like, but if the Flying Six are confident enough, can she really fight Queen? I don't know. It's so vague with Yamato. I don't understand enough. And like, I was looking at these popularity polls, and they were like, "Yo, Yamato is 13," and I was like, "Why? What did she do? Why are you pushing Frankie down to 30? I'm mad." Like,
I can tell you why right now. Like, I can give you 2 reasons.
there's a lot of girls with titties.
All right, Big Sean.
You can get like the Shirahoshi Earth-sized titties. Shirahoshi, her titties are the size of like rocks, massive stones. Like if it was titties, you go to the Mermaid Princess. She's giant princess with bad titties. I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm sure when we were in that arc, she was pretty high up on the popularity poll. But you know, she brings something new to the table. She got a giant club, some horns.
She's Kaido with
she's
titties. That's what you're saying. Kaido with titties.
Yeah, she is Kaido with titties, and you know, Kaido is already pretty top tier. But what's the titties?